So obviously Mo's back with us. He's doing well. It's good to have him back, and he's good. So obviously he's in concussion protocol. We're gonna take it nice and easy here, make sure he's good over the next call it 10 to 14 days and reassess. So that's good news. I thought overall we played better the other night. Our fundamentals were better. Our tackling was better. Overall, we took better care of the ball than we did week one, but we've got a ways to go, and we got no takeaways. That's kind of back to the emphasis again. We got to secure the ball better. And we only lost 2, but really we had 4 out. And then defensively, we've got to, it's got to show up. It's showing up in practice. We got to take it to the game, getting some of these balls out. So that's an emphasis. Sudden change defense was awesome again. We were able to run the ball and shut down the run. So those are all keys to winning. Third down was good defensively. Third and fourth down, both on offense, was good. So anyway, we improved in a lot of areas, and we got to continue to improve. Questions?
What do you think of the performance of Tyleek and Tate getting their first?
Solid. And that was the point. Get them out there in the real game. Function in a huddle, play clock, the whole thing. It's a little bit of a crowd, just, the atmosphere of it. And I thought they were solid. Something to build off of.
You went into that game a little depleted on the offensive line depth and took a few more hits in that game. Can you just give us a sense of maybe where some guys are at that left that game or, weren't able to participate because of pre-existing conditions?
Well, I've got this list here. So obviously Herron's out, Sorsdal's out, Cologne is out for, a while. Got an elbow there, and so that was kind of corresponding moves with the 2 gentlemen we signed yesterday, Britton and Sutherland. Now that being said, Skipper ought to be back today on a limited capacity. So should Jones. Decker will be moving out there a little bit today, getting some real practice reps. So, we have those, but yet we're gaining 3 guys back that have been injured. So that's good. Yaboa, he kind of got his knee a little bit, so he was another one of those. And then Small at the back, soft tissue. So that's kind of where we're at. Trying to think, practice today, other than the ones I just said, nobody else will be practicing out of that group that's been injured. TA's still out. He's getting better, but he's still out. Lovett's still out. That's pretty much it.
You have that much turnover. I know you're used to it, sort of next man up and signing guys, especially this time of year. But how, if at all, does it impact what you can or can't do? Can you not go back to some of the old installs? Is there
if you have, you get in and you have a number of those guys in there together, you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to go way back, dial it way back, and just to where they can line up and play, until they get up to our verbiage. So it can affect that, but all in all, you can't let it affect the overall roster, right? It can't slow down the rest of these guys. We can't let it be. So, when these guys come in, our coaches are on it immediately. They're trying to, as fast as they can get them up to speed with our terminology, the technique, fundamentals of what we do, they're doing it. The minute they step foot into our place, it's nonstop. So, coaches do a good job with that.
Back to Friday night, sounded like nobody really wanted to continue playing, but we obviously saw the play where about 8 minutes ran off the clock. Can you explain why that had to happen? What kind of instruction were you given from the league?
Don't do this to me. All right. So Raheem and I agreed that was what we were going to do. We talked to, Sean Hockley let us know, hey, the game is still on, and we communicated with each other. We told Sean we'll be taking knees, and he said, I understand, and that's the way it went. And then the game was called.
Go through what you guys. Can you just share the emotion? Obviously we saw how how everyone reacted Friday, but to see him and to know that he was all right when you first talked to him on the phone Saturday and you saw him yesterday, what was that like?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, everybody was fired up to see him. You know, it's a breath of fresh air, man. That's hard when something like that happens and you don't know. You know, it's one thing. I mean, we've all seen, I can't tell you the number of times I've seen guys with concussions knocked out. I've had them myself. But, but when you have these and then you don't know, you know they're breathing, but you don't know anything else. And they're gone. They're just, and it's just different. It's a little different because you're trying to block that out, but yet it's still there. So that makes it a little more difficult. That's why that's out of the norm. Most of these, they happen and, you go on about your business. Okay, you got knocked out, smelling salts, they wake up, take care of them. Not that that's any less dramatic, but it's relative to what that was the other night. It was different.
Dan, do you feel like the backup quarterback situation is quote unquote an issue, or are you not to that point?
No, I thought Kyle played really well, man. I was fired up. I mean, that was outstanding. He comes in the game, he wasn't going to play till the second half, and, we get him in there. So it's kind of like, hey, man, you're up. And, okay, I got to be ready to go now. He gets out there and immediately gives us a boost, man. Runs the offense, makes 2 huge throws in the first drive he's in there. Man, I thought he was on point with the checks. The kills, motion landmarks, the whole thing, man. He operated the offense at a high level and made big time throws. So I was fired up.
How much decision to take Hooker out in the first half to get Kyle in there before the halftime?
Well, just turning the ball over. That was the big one. Because look, Hooker made some good throws, man. Before he was doing it, he was doing a few things. But. We got to get more work taking care of the ball. You decide you're going to be a runner, you got to tuck it away, man, like any runner does. 2 hands on the ball in the pocket when you go to step up. So it's all the fundamentals that we talk about. So we just need more work at that, and then he'll get to play.
TeSlaa had a nice touchdown and a couple key blocks. What did you think of his performance in that first half?
I thought he did well. I thought he played better than he did the first week. And I would say ever since we put pads on, he's been trending this way, so that's a good sign, is that you're getting better with pads on than the pajamas. So that was awesome. He's doing well, man. He blocks on the perimeter. He's making big catches over the top of people. He's going up. His route detail is getting that much better. Scotty's doing a heck of a job with him and all those guys. So he's growing. That's more than this. It's more like this.
I'm curious, I think you've answered something along those lines before, but with the UFL and these spring leagues, you've added a lot of guys this year, including 4 just overnight. And so, what value are you finding now that you're getting more of those guys into camp?
Well, I think it's because you have instant tape on those guys, right? They're fresh. Brad does a great job, and that's one of the things that he's made a point of, is like, man, let's get guys in here that have just played. They're in shape. We've seen the tape. And, these aren't guys that haven't been moving, man. They've been in football shape, doing real things, real cuts, real contact, real all of it. And so that's important to get you through camp. And then you get a look at these guys.
One specifically on Whiteside, we see him out there. Whiteside.
Ironsides.
We see him making plays on the ball constantly in practice. He had a couple nice plays in the game. What have you thought about what he's maybe added to that room?
I love these guys that come in like, it's like, man, we need you, right? We got injuries. Come on in and let's get a look. Just get in here and compete. I love those guys that come in and, that was like Fromm last year, right? He just showed up like 3 days before the last preseason game. But some of these guys, because the urgency is on them. They know they got an opportunity, and that's hard. I mean, you can call it what you want. That's hard on some guys. I got to just jump in and know what I'm supposed to know, and then I'm in practice, and I'm immediately in a game. And so, man, the ones that can figure it out quickly, they stand out like a sore thumb. And so I like Whitesides, man. Just the fact he comes in, he competes, man. He's a pro. He jumps into every drill, even if he's not supposed to be in there. Like he wants it, and he's a sponge. So, and he likes to compete. Are there things he's got to get better at? Yeah, of course he does. But he just got here too, so there's something to work with here. Shea's doing a great job with him too. So, yeah, fired up.
Going back to
last one, just since we're not out here tomorrow, you got joint practices starting Wednesday. I don't know if you and Mike have a relationship, but maybe you can just give the backstory on how those came about and why you're doing them.
That was, well, and yes, I do know Mike. I would say that was more of a, they were going to be out there. We had already had our setup with Houston the last week, so I didn't know how much I wanted to do one before that. But I do like doing 2 joint weeks if we can. And they were already going to be in Chicago, and so it just kind of made sense. Like, all right, well, why don't you guys come out here and play us, and then we'll get a couple of days of practice. They agreed to do it, and so it was like, all right, and it'll be good. Look, that's a talented roster. They're creative on offense, and they got a tough D. That's that kind of Baltimore background. So the scheme will be good. The speed on the perimeter will be really good for our guys, obviously with what they've got. So, we're looking forward to it.
You're not doing week 1 this year, obviously you're doing week 2 and 3. Is there
Just kind of played out that way because really we wanted to see if we could get 2 home games back to back, at the end instead of early. And so you kind of put in these requests. You don't always get them, but if we could go back to back instead of starting that way. So to get the 2, it had to be week 2 and 3 of those preseason games. Yep.
Dan.
Okay.